Alright, right now I'm going to teach you how to use the Revolve command to draw a flashlight. The first step, though, is finding a flashlight. This is the flashlight that I've selected for my kit. It's an S&W flashlight. I liked it because it was super bright and it's LED, which means it has good power. The second part is to make a plan. Now when I look at this flashlight, I could do this a couple different ways. I could either try and draw a bunch of different circles and extrude them up one on top of the other, and that would work out really well. Or I could try and draw with the Revolve command. Here's how you do it with the Revolve command. We start by clicking Create 2D Sketch. And then I'm going to draw my flashlight standing up, so I'm going to click here. Now with the Revolve command, we're going to start from the dot just like we always do, and we're going to draw just half of the flashlight. So I'm going to split the flashlight right down the middle, and I'm going to draw what it looks like from the side, just half of it. So I'm going to start by drawing the height of the flashlight. And I need to dimension it right now. That way I don't make any mistakes when I'm trying to size it up. Now I couldn't find any dimensions on this flashlight, so I'm just going to make my best guess and say that the flashlight's probably about 7 inches long. Alright, now to drawing the profile of the flashlight. Line, and I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, because that's how I like to do things. So we start by drawing the bottom battery holder piece. And I'm just drawing that little nub there, and now I'm going to come up and I'm going to draw the hand grip. So up a little bit, over for the hand grip, and then up. I'm going to guess the hand grip is about 4 inches long because the average male hand is 4 inches. And then I'm coming in. I'm going to draw the section where the button is. And I need to draw out at an angle. And then this rib piece here could be really tricky. So I could do this a couple different ways. I could come in and draw a bunch of little arcs. Let's zoom in on it. If I really want to make this look good, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use this equal so that these are both equal. And draw one more. See, I'm not liking how these look. So let's see if I can go ahead and make these all equal. And it's not going to like what I just did there. It says I already have constrained that. I'm going to say OK. I don't like that, and that's OK. So I'm just going to delete it and redraw it. And this time, I'm going to come up 0.1 and hit enter, and then click up again, 0.1, enter, and click up 0.1, enter, and then click. And so now I have 3 bumps that are the same size. Let's go back to my picture and see where I'm at. I'm right here, and I need to draw a little flat piece, this part that comes out, and then the top. So let's finish that up, and I'm going to say line, up, the part that comes out, over, up, yep, and then over. Let's make sure I clicked up. Now, as we look at this, we see that 7 inches might have not been the best guess, because if this was 4 inches, this needed to be a little bit taller. So I'm just going to delete it, and now I'm going to connect from here to there. And if I want to, probably should dimension this line here to say how big it is. Now if this is 4 inches, I'm going to guess this whole flashlight's probably about 2 inches wide. So we're just going to click and make that 1 inch, not 2 inches, my fault, 1 inch. And here we go, we're looking at this. This doesn't look right, so I'm just going to delete it, and I'm going to redraw it. Notice that when I do these things, I don't worry about if it gets messed up. If it's wrong, I delete it, and I try again. Now this is my little cap, and I want to extend it. There's this extend command right here. You can click on it, and up it goes. There you go. I have the side of my flashlight. It should be from here to there about 8 inches. Oh, it didn't like that. So I could do a couple things here. I could change some dimensions here. Let's start with doing that. I'm going to make that, instead of 0.7, 0.5. Yep, I like that. Let's see what happens if I make this 8.5. I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch and Extrude. I'm sorry, I don't want to extrude it, because look what happens when I try and extrude this. It comes out flat, and that's not what we want. We want it to spin. So you click Revolve, you select the profile that you want, which is this one, and then you click the axis that you want, which is this one. And now we revolve it, and we say, OK. Now I have a flashlight. That's a pretty good flashlight. I would be fairly happy with that. Now, if we want to make it look just a little bit better, we come into Revolution, and we turn it to black. As soon as it pulls up, here we go. Where is black? There we go. So now I have a black flashlight. But let's see if we're missing anything really. Oh, we're missing a lens. So I'm going to try and cut this part out here, and we're missing buttons. So let's go ahead and try and put some buttons on. First, we're going to click Create 2D Sketch. We're going to go right here, and I'm just going to draw a circle and dimension it. Right now it's 2.23. I'm going to make it 2.25 because that's a round number that's close to 2.23. Say Finish Sketch, and now I'm going to extrude U, and we want to cut. We're going to cut down, and we just want to cut down a little bit right here, probably just about 1/4 of an inch. So we'll type in 1/4. This is where those measuring skills come in handy, because when you learn the size of things, then you can estimate it. Now we're going to change this to, let's change it to something clear. Clear light. I like that. And there we go. So now I just need to add a button in. Now adding the button is going to be a little bit trickier because these are round edges. And so there's only a couple ways you can do that. One way that you could do it is you can add a work plane onto the surface of this. To do that, you have to use this tangent to surface through edge or tangent to surface through a point. So what we're going to do is we're going to do tangent to a surface through a point. We're going to click Create 2D Sketch, and I've got to make a point first. I'm going to click on this edge right here because that's where I want my point. I'm going to send it back to the home view so I can get a good view of this. Right here is the point command. I'm going to click on point, and I'm going to say I want a point right here. And you can see there's a little green dot. That is my point. Say Finish Sketch. Come back up here and click on Plane and tangent to surface through a point. Okay, and so this is the surface I want to be tangent to, and this is the point that I want it to be tangent to. So now I have my work plane, and I can create a 2D sketch right here, and I can draw my button. Now you can see here, because I did not do a good job of planning, my button's not going to be super big. So that was a mistake on my part, that I didn't draw my button bigger. But we're going to go ahead and move on for right now, and I'll fix it in just a minute. So Finish Sketch, and when we want to change a sketch, we come over to our browser, and we can click right here, and then double click on the square where it says Sketch 1. And now, let's see, instead of making this 1/2 inch, let's make it 1. See what that does for us. And that pushed those things up. So let's change this dimension. I'm going to click it a second time and it'll bring it out at an angle. 2 seems too big. Let's make it 1.5 and see what that does. That doesn't look right. 1.75? That looks better. Now I've got to come in and I've got to dimension this, and 0.12 works for that. Let's dimension this line right here and get that the right size. Let's make that 0.25. There we go. And then I want to make equals. U and U equal. And then we're going to dimension that. 0.1. There we go. And we're going to say finish sketch. And now we have our flashlight. Looks a little bit better. And I can double click back on this sketch and edit it. I don't like where that circle is anymore, so I'm deleting it and redrawing it. Finish sketch, extrude, and then I can click U out. But look at this, I can do it both ways to make sure my button goes in and out. I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to use the fillet command to round this edge just slightly, because we don't like a sharp button. There we go. And now I have my flashlight. It's perfectly done. At this point, I'm going to make my work plane and this sketch invisible. So I right click, click on visibility, and they disappear. And so I get rid of anything that makes my, oops, clicked on the wrong one. There we go. So this is my final flashlight. This is an excellent flashlight. Not exactly what we're expecting from all of our students. If you had stopped at drawing just the flashlight, just this right here, we would have been very happy with that. We would have looked at it and been very, very pleased. It would have been a 9 out of 10. Adding the button just gives you a little extra. And you notice that I've still not got all the details on here. Let's not worry about putting all the details. We're just learning how to use Inventor. So, there you go.